This is a little behind the scenes video on the latest documentary I just shot about Damien Otero. He is a successful entrepreneur in the restaurant space, but I wanted to get to know more about his story, the trials, the tribulations, the struggles, everything he went through to get to the successful point that people on the outside see him as today. If you haven't checked it out, it's linked in the description below, but let's get into these behind the scenes. I pulled up to his restaurant and started filming right away. My impromptu plan was to just film his work day, just everything he does in a regular day, ask him questions that pique my curiosity along the way, and then the next day do a formal interview and then think during the interview, okay, what B-roll and what scenes do I need to fully tell his story? I only had 2 days with him, so I had to make this work.
Right now we're going to Midtown, which was our first location, the original Real Tacos.
Where are we on our way to?
Right now we are going to Midtown, which is the original location for Real Tacos.
So what I like to do with my subjects a lot is just have them in their element. I tell them like I'm a fly on the wall and just get some shots of their face. You'll never know what kind of story the eyes or face can tell as part of B-roll for the voiceover when you make the actual interview. And here is a prime example of just that.
To eventually, oh shit, why are all my cards maxed out? Oh, why am I'm struggling to pay sales tax this month? And that ball continued rolling.
This is just a shot of him being a little frustrated after a phone call, but I used the emotion on his face during that shot to portray something else that was happening in his life as he was describing during the interview. Just look forward. Ready? 1, 2. So something I do in most of my shoots when I ask my subject a question is I let the camera keep rolling for another 10 seconds after they've finished speaking. And it's weird, it's like they come out with what they were trying to say, but then something else comes out that you weren't expecting, and then you'll never know when you can use that for your edit or whatever it may be, or just use their face, you know, expressing the emotion of what they just said.
This is the one that was opened in 2015. And we acquired this one in late 2021.
Here, I'm just trying to capture B-roll of the restaurant, really capture the vibe of this space, the restaurant he's created, and just keep following him doing his day-to-day work activities. Every time he would leave a location, I would make sure to get an exit shot. It could be him driving away in the car, just leaving the restaurant by foot, and this helps me in the edit to transition to another scene. And then I just got more B-roll of his other locations and wrapped it up for the day. Now it was time for the most important part of the shoot, the formal interview. All right, it's 6 in the morning. We just got to Real Tacos. We're about to meet up with Damien right now and do the interview. As soon as he opens that doors, bring everything in, get it set up before the kitchen gets here, before the kitchen staff gets here, and they start prepping. So we got to make this interview work in the next 2 hours. So let's get to setting up. We have the interview set up right now. We have our key light at about 20%, 5600 Kelvin, pointing at Damien at a 45-degree angle. If you look over here, this is just to the left of my shoulder. That way it's just a conversation between me and Damien. Like, he's probably not even gonna notice the camera, and that way I can look over at the monitor and see, okay, everything is still in focus, everything's still good, I'm still recording. And then if you back up a bit, you'll see the boom mic I have just on this travel stand, boom pole, XLR cord, pointing straight to his chest, not his mouth. And that way we get that podcast deep voice from the chest. And that's the interview setup, and we're about to interview El Dami. And here is exactly what that setup looked like in camera.
I would never give away another 10 years of my life and have nothing to show at the end of the journey, because there's no enterprise value in the company. You basically own a job.
I then saw the opportunity right after the interview to use the light to get some cool shots of him with the bar behind him. I actually ended up using this shot as the opening, the intro to the film.
I've always been obsessed with things.
And since this is going on YouTube, I had to get some thumbnail shots. So here's me taking a few photos. I ended up using this one. Just wrapped up the final shot here at Real Tacos with entrepreneur Damien Otero. It was very inspiring being with him for the past 2 days and just his mindset of obsession and being obsessed with his business. And I hope that I can be a little bit more like that in my filmmaking. The thing about these documentaries is you have to film everything in the moment. There is no
do that again, do this, do that. It was just go, 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 go. And you know, I'm walking away right now and I'm just praying I have everything for the edit.
Looking back after editing and publishing the documentary, I really wish there were some real life scenes I could have filmed and let unfold in front of the camera, which is what documentary is supposed to be all about. It was just dialogue and B-roll, which told a good story, but I needed that real life feeling. But I will definitely improve on that for the next one. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that little behind the scenes. I really want to expand on this concept because it's something I've always wanted to see on YouTube. I want to see what it takes to do the things behind camera. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.